What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are on the grind still, just grinding away, almost literally, on the boost knuckle project here. If you didn't see the last video, I brought the truck in to prep it for LS Fest. We were going to do a transmission swap. We're going to put a power glide in it. I don't even know if the power glide is good or not. I was told it was, but I'm not sure. So I brought it in to swap out the Turbo 400 and put the power glide in it. And in the process of that, I really just in my head thought of all these little things that I've been wanting to take care of. And I just said, you know what? Let's just do it now. So after the last video, we got all the front suspension unbolted. Wasn't really no sense in videoing that because that's kind of just boring, taking some bolts out. But I got everything pulled off the front aside from the gearbox and the pitman arm, so we can cut this center section out and get it prepped and ready to drop the 6.2 in when our parts come in for it. So I'm gonna get the laser out and I'm gonna set a straight line on this thing and I'm gonna paint marker it. I kind of got an idea where I want to cut it. I don't want to cut it past this. I don't know why. I don't know if it's that big of a deal, but a big part of me just doesn't want to cut past that. So I'm going to leave a little bit of meat here, then cut it from there. Somebody, when I got this frame, had already cut the frame up for an LS swap. I actually had to just kind of half finish welding in some stuff that they didn't finish welding. It's not the prettiest, but it functions. So anyways, like I said, I'm going to laser this out. We'll lay a paint mark on here. We'll go through, cut this out, and then I'll make a couple templates, and we'll go over to Brad's. Brad can cut us out a couple plates to plate that in, and then I'll figure out about how much steel, which I might even have some tubing. Might be a little big, but I've got some chromoly tube here. I've got something small like this. This very well could be big enough. Yeah, so this might work. This is, how big is this? This might be 1 inch. 1 inch should be big enough, I would say. 1.25 inches. Yeah, 1.25 inches should work. Otherwise, I've got like 1 5/8 inches, I think is what this is. Yeah, it's 1.5 inches. So, worst case, I'll ask Brad, see what his thoughts are. This is a thinner wall than this. I feel like this would actually probably be stronger, so I'll probably just use this anyways. But so we got tubing for that. Just have to get some plates made. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the laser out. We'll laser this up, put us a paint mark on it, and then we'll get through and cut that out and try and get this boxed in. So we had the laser out and we laid our lines here, taped our paint markered them off, measured them, make sure they're square. Like 11 1/8 inches from here to here, 11 1/8 inches from back here to back here, so on and so forth. So we lasered it. I would have time-lapsed that, but I only have one tripod, so kind of is what it is. So I'll set the time-lapse up and we'll start cutting this out, and then I can make some cardboard templates or paper templates or something for Brad, and then have him cut me out some plates, and then we'll weld some plates in, figure out my bar, where I want to put my bar at. I don't know if I'm just going to put it towards the front or if I'm going to put it dead center of the middle. This is kind of, I don't normally do this kind of thing, so. But yeah, and maybe I'll put like a bar and have him make me some gussets, and maybe I'll put like corner gussets on it. So maybe we can do that. That might be kind of neat. So anyways, let's get to cutting. Well, we got it cut out. I had kind of hoped that it would stay relatively square, one with this piece here being in here, two the trans cross member, and the fact that this thing has a 850 cage, this very well could move just a little. Probably wasn't ideal. I probably needed to weld something in to try and help square it up. I probably should have welded something between the bolt holes or something. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It seems like it did move a little bit, but I didn't pay too much attention to this, but it looks like it's not sitting on the pad of the lift. That very well could have been like that before we cut it. But I feel like if you pull on it a little bit, like if I pull down on this corner, it very well could move a little. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But if I take that piece and I set it up in there, it lines perfectly up. So it's not like it twisted and now I can't get the piece in it. Like the piece still slides in and it lines up. So my lift is not completely level, so that also doesn't help either. But I'll take this piece to Brad, and I mean, he potentially could just take a picture of this and put it in his program and then just cut us out a perfect cap that'll sit in there. But I'm wondering, I'm gonna see if he can't make a cap, but then make it to where the holes line up. So you like cut a hole in it and the pipe would slide in it, and you know each plate is where it's supposed to be, and then you know the bar is exactly where it's supposed to be, and then you can weld it, and it won't just be welded to a flat piece of steel. It'll actually go through the steel and be welded, and I think it'll add a lot more rigidity to that part of the frame. I still don't know if I'm going to use this thick wall 1.25 inches or if I'm going to go to this stuff here. I don't know which one would be stronger. I feel like the smaller one might be stronger, but I don't know. Brad would know better than I. So I think I'm gonna run over there and see what he thinks about making me a couple plates, and maybe he could do it later today, or I could get him back tomorrow. That way we could weld the plates in tomorrow, get the bar welded in, go ahead and clean everything up, and then my frame mods will essentially be done. And then we can clean all the frame up, paint all the stuff that we need to paint. The frame is already PR15, but I want to paint obviously where we weld and stuff. And then we can start putting the control arms on the truck and start kind of going back the opposite direction. So anyways, I'll run over to Vasko, see what Brad thinks. First thing this morning, we're gonna run over to Vasko Speed, see my boy Brad. We went over there last week, dropped off our radiator, and we dropped off the piece that we cut out of the center of this so he could make some templates for us, or make some plates for us that we can weld in, put a bar in. But yeah, we're gonna run over there and check out this fan shroud, check out these plates that he did, and that way we can make some more progress on the BK here. So I'm gonna get some stuff moved around, cleaned up, and then we'll hop on the truck and we'll head over to Brad's, see what he got whipped up for us. We made it. Let's see what Mr. Brad's up to this morning.
Baker's hours.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
What you got here?
You know who Aaron is, right?
Yeah.
This is Aaron's truck. He wanted me to look it over because he bought a boat, 38-foot fountain lightning, and he's got to tow it down to the lake, so he's wanting me to check over the front suspension on it, so I told him I'd do that for him.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that, like a shirt. That's a nice shirt.
Oh yeah, fancy.
Yeah, I was watching the old MRE Motorsports the other day, and I was like, I just saw you wearing it, and you were talking about getting up something made. I was like, oh, Matthew.
Yeah, I like the new shirt you got on. Check that thing out.
Oh yeah, it's got some of them. You know.
Yeah. Brad whipped us up some stuff here. That's perfect.
So I kept it in the same spot as it was, and then I wasn't for sure how you were going to attach it.
You can tell it got a little pressure built up in it.
A little bit of boost pressure put in there, and the old boost knuckle, and
yeah. No, so I think I'll probably put some of those like those recessed bungs in it and make some just flat tabs off of it.
Okay.
Just to keep it simple.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were wanting to do, and I didn't know if you wanted to attach it to this side.
Well, and I thought about that, but I kind of had a feeling it was
going to work on
yeah, and I was like, and then that's just an extra bin you got to add to the dang thing. So I was like,
and with my bender, I can't do like a Z like that because I don't have that style of bender. But I wasn't sure if you're going to weld the corners up, but I figured.
Yeah, I probably will, and I'll probably put a little bit of foam on it and stuff too.
Cool.
But
yeah, that's that. And then these are for where you hack this thing out of here.
Yeah.
And then these should go like, I can remember how I did it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude, that'll be perfect.
So then you just slip your tube into there. You might have to Dremel it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then at least it's not just butted up against it. It'll have a little bit that goes inside of it.
I like to do this because when you do it like this, then they match side to side.
Right.
And so then you can like stick it in there, make a good weld, and honestly, it's a lot easier to weld it on a bench than it is to sit there and try to weld it. So you can like weld these on there in the bench after you get it tacked and then stick it in there. So.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, cool, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, buddy.
All right, so we just made it back from Vasko. We got our plates picked up. These are going to be pretty cool. I'm super pumped about these. This will make it nice. We'll get those welded in down there, whatnot. So I got to clean up the frame a little bit and clean up the tube and just Dremel this hole out a little bit just so we get a little bit better fit. It's pretty close to fitting. I could probably honestly tap it in there. Yeah, well, there, that one went on there. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have a little bit of tube sticking out and then we can weld it. The only downfall is you're not gonna be able to weld both outside parts of it. So you have to weld one on both sides and then the other side, because of the way it's gonna have to fit in there, you'll, I don't know, maybe I can slide it in there and do it that way. I guess I'll have to tack it. I guess if I put it together, put it in there, I can probably tack it, pull it out, weld it, put it back in, and then, yeah, we could do it. I can make it happen. But yeah, it'll be nice to have welds on both sides of the plate. That way it's not just butted up against the plate and welded. I feel like this is gonna be way more structural, more rigid that way. And then we got the fan shroud, which I gotta go grab the radiator out of the truck. But Brad killed it on that. If you guys are in the area, or even if you're not in the area and you need anything, shoot Brad a message, get on Vasko Speed's website, order you some belly pans, some merch. Brad's built every belly pan for every car I have. He's very particular about his stuff. Brad is literally one of the best fabricators around, at least the best fabricator I know. So if you guys need anything, go over there, check him out, and get anything that you need from Brad. So huge thanks to Brad. I appreciate you, buddy. All right, so we're gonna kind of figure out where level is. You know, obviously my lift isn't level. So we're gonna figure out where the chassis is level. And it looks like it's about 2 degrees one direction. So when we set this bar up, we'll do the same thing, 2 degrees one direction. Obviously level this way, but then you're gonna have to worry about being square this way. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to take some measurements and figure that out. The way this is set up, and since I didn't cut it completely straight, I'm actually gonna have to put one plate in, get it where I want it, tack it, and then I'll probably have to get the other plate in and tack it, and then I can weld the bar out to the plate, and then I can attempt to break the tacks and see if I can pull the plate with the bar in it out, which I don't think I'm gonna, because the bar is actually sticking out through the plate. So I may just have to weld the outside, or the inside, I guess you would call this, of the tube, weld the plate in, and that's just gonna be what it is. So we probably won't be able to get in and weld the inside of this, but that's okay. Shouldn't be a huge deal. So anyways, I'm gonna get the welder out. Let's start burning some metal. All right, so as you saw there, we got that one welded in. I went ahead and just MIG'd it in. And this side over here has got some pretty big gaps. I've got to get some trimming done on this one. This one fit up over here really well on this side of the frame, but it doesn't mirror image this side. Not both sides are the same because the way this frame's been boxed. So we'll clean that up a little bit, clean the slag up off that plate. And as you can tell, the bars slid out really easy there, or you probably couldn't tell because it was time-lapse, so it probably took a millisecond to pull the pipe out. But the pipe slid in and slid out relatively easy. Yeah, let's get this other one prepped and burn in. I may end up taking the bars to the plates just to make sure we get really good penetration and good weld on it. when I MIG, I have to like MIG stop, basically lots of little tacks, because my 110 outlets are on the air conditioning, and every time I start to MIG, it shuts the AC off, and we can't have that. So anyways, I'm gonna get this plate kind of cut off, figure out where everything's at, and then we'll drag the MIG out, and then we'll MIG this plate in here, and then we'll drag the TIG out and we'll get the bar TIGged in. And from there, we should be able to clean everything up. As you can tell, I kind of cleaned up this side of the frame. This side's still really dirty. So we'll clean everything up. We're gonna repaint this front lower core support area here, and then we'll paint in everything here. I was planning on doing the firewall. I don't know that I have enough time or patience to mess with that. I don't know, we'll see. I wanna get all this done, cleaned up and painted, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the firewall, if we're gonna do anything. And that may come another time. So we may end up waiting on that. So anyways, let me get this cleaned up, get all this stuff welded out, and get ready to try and get this motor put in this thing. So I got a little carried away and got it all welded in and started painting, and then realized I don't have the camera set up on the tripod. So totally dropped the ball on that one. But as you can tell, we got it welded in. We did end up MIGing the whole thing just for simplicity's sake. It's not like the rest of what used to be cut and re-welded on the frame was nice and TIG welded, so kind of is what it is. But I did go ahead and scuff up some of this up here, clean it off with some glass cleaner, and just put some fresh paint up here, because all this was satin black, where the rest of the frame's actually kind of a gloss. And this is a gloss Van Sickle. So should die off a little bit once it flashes and stuff. And then I didn't paint all this yet, because I actually need to set the motor down in the truck and try and see what I've got to do to make a tab off this to mount my belly pan. So I got to sort that out yet. I probably shouldn't even have painted that stuff yet. And once I started painting, I was like, oh wait, I got to put the belly pan on. So that's why I kind of stopped. I got a little bit of the back painted, and then reminded myself I needed to quit. So like I said, we stopped doing that for now. I'll let this tack up for a little while. I may come back through and put another coat on all this. Mainly, this is just really high traffic. I'm jacking up on it. Things are mounted to it. So I just figured, you know what, I'll put a little bit of extra paint on there. And then, like I said, I wanted to rerun the wires through the firewall, but I don't really have that much time right now. And money's tight. So anything I can do to not change things and spend money would be great. Like, you know, minimal changes and not rebuild the whole truck. That's what I have to remind myself. We're not reinventing the truck at this point. We're just putting a different motor and transmission in it, cleaning some things up, putting it back together. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this sit for a while, and we'll come back to this once this tacks up, and then we'll try and get the motor and transmission mated up together, torque converter and everything. We'll try and get it all bolted together and then set down in frame here, and then we'll test fit the Vasko Speed and Performance belly pan. I think that's gonna do it for this video today, guys. We'll come back, and next video we will be working on trying to set the motor and transmission down in this thing and working out the belly pan situation. But for now, that's gonna do it for today's video. Progress, progress, progress. If you get an hour a day, any type of progress is good progress. Hour a day, that's progress. So anyways, that's gonna do it for part 2 of LS Fest prep for the Boost Knuckle project. And don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.